Hey everybody, welcome in Kentucky Weather Podcast. I'm Chris, that's Jim. Mr. Caldwell, how are you, sir?
You know what? Much better now that the world of weather has changed.
Oh, you know what? I think it was our podcast that did it.
Well,
Our podcast was officially the Drought Buster.
Well, we said it would be.
We did.
You know, we said
did.
we're going to be in pretty good shape. And
Yeah.
Where are we now?
I mean, seriously, a week ago, early, first 3 days of October, the hottest 3 days of October on record at any month of October in any year. So it's been absolutely absurd.
And you're talking daytime highs running mid and upper 90s all across Kentucky. You know, I mean, just ridiculous heat.
Yeah.
And now we've got some other things we have to watch.
Right. Now we're into fall.
It really happened.
And we got our big rain finally.
Anywhere from a quarter of an inch for some, up to almost 5 inches of total rainfall.
That's more than
in our area.
That's more than a month's worth of rain in 2 days.
And that's exactly what we needed around here.
Yeah.
Now there are mixed reports out there that say, we need more. But how much more do you need?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you get 3 and 4 inches of rain. I mean, come on, people.
All we needed was a good saturation of the ground. And and this is how you know you got a good rain. Even a day later, it's still squishy outside.
Oh, yeah.
It's as simple as that. If you can keep the water at that level in the ground, and even with the sun out here today, and it's still a little squishy, you've done well.
Yeah, and
simple.
The sun angle now is getting so low in the sky that it's not going to, your evaporation process is nowhere near as great as it was back in September and August, right?
That's right. I mean, and it's lower and lower. I mean, you've got the earlier sunrise, you got the later sunset right now, all coming together on. So it's all about the angle.
So here we are, new podcast. How did week one of podcasting treat you?
I don't think I listened to it.
You didn't listen to it? I mean, I downloaded it at least 500 times.
I think it did okay though from other people.
Yeah.
I know that I made one of our coworkers mad.
Oh,
yeah.
Now, how did you do that?
Well, I told her.
Are you going to tell the story?
I'm going to absolutely tell the story.
I
told her that.
I love this.
I told her that we had the #1 rated new podcast from WKYT.
Yeah. And how did that go over?
And Andrea got very mad.
Not going to mention any names, but Andrea,
she got mad at me for. I was just telling the truth.
Yeah.
Bart's over here watching us.
And
with the camera.
You said this on air.
Yes,
right?
and then she got me in the commercial break.
And in a commercial break, she just turned on you.
She did turn on me. Everybody thinks we're like this. We're best friends.
The claws came out.
But the claws came out.
Yeah.
There were no friends there that day.
Poor Bill Bryan had his work cut out for him.
He did, but he got us separated, and we're all happy now.
Everybody's kissed and made up.
Everything's fine, so we're all back to normal.
But did she listen to the podcast?
I don't know.
I mean,
that's a good question.
See?
If she did, then she gave us one of our one of our many hits.
So are you saying now you're not going to go listen to her podcast because you don't want to give her and Victor a hit?
Well, yes.
Come on now, we're all family here.
Well, I like to be the top of the family.
You like to be the first one at the table to eat.
That's right. I need the king seat at the head of the table. But we're not going to edit that out.
No, we're not going to edit anything out.
No.
I mean, we may have a censor every now and then in here for a little beep.
Yeah, we're going to need that.
Yeah. So podcasting's fun. So we're going to talk a little bit about where we're going from here in terms of the weather. And then we're going to talk, we're getting into the time of year where now everybody is saying, hey, how's the winter going to be? I mean, before we tape this podcast,
literally,
what happened?
We had
our boss
with a client on the phone wanting to know the winter forecast.
Yeah.
Now,
right, because of potential school closings, snow days, stuff like that.
Because it impacts everybody, and that's important, if you can start preparing for it, now.
Right.
And how you're going to spend your advertising money.
This is true, and plus it helps our stock in the grocery stores that we have, right?
That's exactly right.
I mean, people really think that.
I can honestly tell you, I own no Kroger stock.
No, me either. Mine's all in Meijer. So that's where I go.
But I own none. I really do. I do not.
No.
I just about lied and told her that I did, but I don't.
Ooh. But sometimes I will mess with people, and because they watch you in the store, I'll go in there and I'll just load my cart full of bread and milk.
Oh, now that's funny.
In December or January, just see what they do.
Especially if there's a whisper of snow. And it doesn't take to get, with social media now, a whisper turns into a holler.
Right. Oh, exactly. I mean, you could say snow flurries, and people are going to the store.
Yes.
There's a small chance we could pick up a little accumulation this weekend, and then boom, next thing you know, the grocery stores are packed.
You know, it's funny that we talk about that because I was talking about this morning the big system that's going to impact the northern plains.
All that snow in the plains?
Bunch of snow.
Yeah.
And I got a Facebook message, and somebody said, how much snow are we getting? No, honey, no. We're not getting any snow here. I'm just showing you what a different weather world it is right now, compared to last week, record highs. And now we can talk about this getting into the country. I mean, that's where we are.
Yeah, I mean, parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, through this weekend, you're talking a foot to maybe 30-plus inches of snow.
That's incredible.
It's insane. I mean, it's October, and people will think, well, it's Minnesota. Well, it's October.
It's still October, even early for them.
Right. And, that may throw snowflakes into the Oklahoma Panhandle.
That's incredible.
It really is.
Tough system, man. It's going to and it's the same system that's going to impact us.
Yeah, that'll blow through on Friday, and Friday night could have some showers, thunderstorms, and that temperature drop is going to be dramatic. Behind that front, you may hit 80 Friday afternoon on a gusty wind.
There's a good chance,
A good chance. And then by the time you wake up on Saturday morning, some upper 30s possible.
Absolutely. And then you think about all the folks that are going to be out wandering around for football game Saturday night.
Are you suggesting you know some people like that?
I think I know a couple.
We're planning a big tailgate, aren't
we? Yeah, the first one that we've done in a couple of years, I guess. Together at least.
Well, we did one last year. I'm glad you remember it.
Well,
it was
a long day.
Yeah, you don't remember a whole lot about that day, do you?
Of course I do.
It gets a little fuzzy after a while.
Well, no, I remember it was great. Oh, we did do one with Deanne.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember it now.
Gosh.
See, it's my memory.
Right.
But it's going to be chilly.
And that's the one we started, me and you. Now, we're telling hunters. We started tailgating in the weather garden. And then Sam picked us up that day.
We did start tailgating.
Sam
in the weather
picked us up here at the station after we started tailgating in the weather garden because Sam was going to be late in picking us up.
And he was.
About an hour late. So we just started here and
went on over there.
Went on over to Kroger Field
with Sam. That was good. It was a good day.
Yeah.
But this one, you're going to have to bring the jacket, the gloves,
the antifreeze.
The antifreeze, because it's going to be chilly all day long.
I know. Windy. We get rid of the rain, though. That's the good thing.
Yeah, but that wind that evening is going to be stiff.
Yeah. And the temperatures at game time, mainly in the 40s.
Yeah. For
the whole game. That's chilly.
That's tough, especially when they haven't played in a game like that.
Right.
And the crowds haven't sat in a game like that yet.
Yeah.
So that'll get you in a hurry.
So you're ready for that tailgate, though?
I'm ready for the tailgate. I'm ready for the weather that comes along with it.
It's an open-ended tailgate, by the way. WKYT, we've got our own Big Tent out there that we tailgate at. But we kind of bounce around a little bit from tailgate to tailgate.
When we get together, we do, yes.
We do.
We just try to, whoever's going to feed me next,
So if you have a tailgate you'd like to see Jim Caldwell show up at,
you can email me at.
Email him at Tailgate Crasher.
WKYT.com.
But that's going to be fun, though. We always have a good time out there.
We do have a good time out there. And again, it's going to be football weather.
It is, yeah.
That's what to think about.
And here's the thing for folks who are going out there. If you wake up on Saturday morning, let's say that front's a little slower, there's still some clouds or a shower around that morning. By the afternoon and evening, that stuff's gone.
Right.
So you're in good shape.
So if you're going for, an early afternoon to start your tailgate, and I'm sure many people will be. I mean, somebody might be out there at 8 a.m., man. I don't know.
A lot of people are, yeah.
I don't know what their plans are.
Well, listen, the RV bunch out there, they're tailgating for a day or two ahead of time.
Well, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
See, that's the one you should crash.
That's exactly.
I mean, that's 2 or 3 days worth of free food.
Can you get me an RV pass? Because I've got the
You've
RV
got the
now.
RV now. Jim has an RV,
and I'm taking a whole week off next week to RV some.
Are you really? Where are we going? Wait, I'll make the schedule. So yeah, I know. Yeah, I forgot you
forgot us next week. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, so you can start that week off right on Saturday.
Oh yeah, be a lot of fun. Perfect weather.
And I didn't get an invite for this big camping trip.
I don't know how well the heat works yet. I've only had it this summer. I know the air conditioner's great, but I don't know about the heat yet.
I thought you were roughing it.
What? Oh, no. No. I've got to have a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. There's none of that stuff.
Pool. Pond's good for you.
No.
That's the quote from Caddyshack. if you remember.
You know, I do remember now that you say
Yeah.
it, but I wasn't thinking about it just then.
All right, so we get that front in here on Saturday. See, we could talk about just tailgating and camping and everything else, and
We can.
that's probably more fun for people to listen to than, hey, cold front's coming in on Friday.
Yeah.
Going to drop those temperatures.
They hear that enough.
They do.
They hear that enough
Yeah.
from real stuffy meteorologists.
Right, and we are far from stuff.
Oh, I assure you.
And the thing is, this is, hopefully giving people a little glimpse. This is how we are off air. Okay, this is the scaled back version of how we are off air. All right, we can't fully go, completely.
It's PG-13 at least. We can't go rated R. Our poor old. We've got a photog in here with us, one of the best in the business.
Oh.
We've got Barton Bill in
Photog,
here, and he's
producer,
videoing this.
director, Emmy winner, winner of blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean,
he's won everything.
He's just one of these guys, and he knows that we're being PG-13, and he's okay with it. He's comfortable.
Well, I'm trying to be PG. You're PG-13.
Well, I just got to take it one step further.
You just go right up to that line, don't you?
Just got to toe it.
Just put a toe on it. But so yeah, we're trying to give you a little glimpse into us as well.
The real life.
Yeah.
What people don't know is every day of the week, the work week especially, we talk to each other on the phone for 15, 20
Every
minutes.
day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every
And,
day.
and sometimes on weekends.
And
too.
sometimes on weekends too, yeah.
Unless Jim's camping somewhere and he doesn't have a cell phone signal.
Which happens.
Or it makes a good excuse to not answer the call.
He thinks that I lie
I know
when I
you do.
say that. But sometimes I don't have service these campgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. I would never lie to you.
No.
Not directly.
Weather people will never lie.
No,
Come on.
no, that's
Right?
right. That's right. They never make things up. No.
We get told we do. It's like the grocery store stock. People have a narrative, and it's game on from there.
They really believe it with all their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
And all we say is bless their hearts.
That's all we can say. And we get hateful emails at times that really really believe it.
Oh, yeah. And people on Twitter, too.
Oh.
Some of these social media warriors, they're hilarious. And they think and the thing they don't know about us, they think it bothers us.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's hilarious.
And they also think they're the first to say it.
Right. And I think it's hilarious. I mean, we've all got repeat haters out there for whatever reason. And I could care less what they think, to be honest with you, right?
Right. Oh, I know. I'm with you. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. And, in our business, especially in the weather world, a lot of meteorologists kind of run in cliques.
They do.
And on social media, you really see that.
And
that's just not my thing. Sorry.
They'll come at you.
I follow more sports people than I do meteorologists.
You're right. I don't really follow many weather people.
I don't either. And the ones
and
I'm sorry to the ones I do follow, but chances are I've muted you. I'm just following because you followed me and I'm being courteous.
it's got to be a nice guy. I got to look good. It's an image thing.
And it's because what? I don't want somebody else's opinion on the weather to influence mine. I want to come up with mine independently, right or wrong. It's going to be because what I think, not because what the group tank is going with.
Before I do a forecast, when I never look at what you've done. Mm-hmm. I always kind of throw my thoughts down.
Yeah.
And then
compare and contrast.
Then I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't want to go in with that bias.
Right, exactly.
And then we kind of balance everything out. That's the way we've done, and we've done well. So.
Yeah. And obviously, in 12 hours like that, new model runs, things can change.
Yeah, trends change like that. That's what a lot of people don't understand. That's why there are so many weather hits. Mm-hmm. That's why there's so many newscasts, because we're always trying to get that information out there.
And you know what? People have their apps, and then they'll blame us because whatever weather app they're using was wrong, and they'll say, well, you all. No.
Nope.
Even our weather app, it's great for radar, it's great for alert, it's great for everything like that, but every weather app, basically the forecast you get on there, unless it's us and a video, is automated by a computer.
Yeah.
Which
doesn't take anything into consideration that we know.
And I'll tell a story too. I guess that is now moving into TV stations. Meteorologists are using automated forecasts on a 7-day that they don't make. It's a computer that makes. We didn't know this until we had a job candidate in town back in the spring.
Yes.
If you remember.
Oh, I remember.
We took this person out, and they're like, wait, you guys don't use iCast for the 7-day? iCast is something that our weather provider, WSI, has.
Yep.
And it essentially makes the forecast for you.
Completely
Literally,
automated.
The highs, lows, the chance of precipitation, the icons, it's all done. And you don't have to do anything. Just walk in there and throw it on air.
And that's
And
what they do.
I was shocked. And this was a much bigger market.
That blew our minds. I couldn't. When he told us that, I remember he got up and he may have gone, to the restroom or something.
And we looked at each other
I'm like, did you hear him? And he's like, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
You to really appreciate it, you have to forecast it.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to pick up on that Sunday system that might, that's going to be the game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like, oh, there might be a little rain.
Right. And the computer model doesn't have any historical perspective to say, you know what, I saw this set up 5 years ago and it did this.
No, it's running so many different ones. No, we have the information because we've been sitting and looking at it for years and years and years. And you're the first one to say, now, do you remember, back in, such and such year and when it did this? Yeah. Well, look at this.
And then you go back and look at the pattern. It was similar.
It was very similar.
And then you'll hear people say, well, the forecast changed 5 times today. I'm like, no, our forecast hadn't. Your app forecast may have, because the computer runs actually update 4 times a day that feed into that app. So people are like, well, now it's a 10% chance of rain. Well, now it's up to 40. Now it's back to 12. What?
We don't back off our chances.
No, we'll change it from day to day.
Yeah, but not
every 4 hours or 6 hours or whatever.
Because we're not basing it off every single run, because there are hiccups, as you know.
Right, yes, absolutely. Some runs are better than others, and you'll see gigantic swings in a forecast, even that are just a couple of days out.
Yes.
And computer models are forecasting for one point on a map that is basically a dot that, if it misses that dot with a thunderstorm by 5 miles, you look at that dot forecast and it has no rain, yet there's rain all around it, but you're not looking at the actual surface map for a computer model. You're looking at that dot.
And that's how the forecast is based.
And that's how the forecast is based.
So, but you and I, we look at every dot. We look
that's
at
a lot of dots, my man.
We look at all the locations, in our area, especially,
Yeah. And the one thing we do too, for us, we have the biggest viewing area in Kentucky in terms of counties.
Right, coverage.
We go from, people watch us from E-Town, along 65, all the way to Ashland and, far eastern Kentucky. And everywhere in between. They get us in Covington. They get us all the way to the Tennessee border. So we don't just forecast for one city in terms of a high or a low. We try to put the average temperature out.
Right. And because, again, we're for all those points.
Right. We're for every point, because you know what? If you're watching us in Williamsburg, or you're watching us in Covington or Moorhead or Danville, you know what? You're watching us for your weather too. You're not watching us just to give the Lexington forecast.
That's right. And if you come to our website or you come to follow one of us and look at what we've shared somewhere on on social media, it's for this area. I don't care what's happening anywhere else when we're talking about forecasts.
Yeah. All right. So one thing we're going to try to do between now and this next one, all right, it's survive in advance from our tailgate on Saturday.
Yes.
That's goal number 1.
Yeah.
Survive the tailgate.
If we don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jim he's already told people in the newsroom, if they get a phone call that says Fayette County Detention Center, please answer.
Yes. First time it calls. First time that thing rings. No, we're not going to get that kind of trouble.
No, not at all. But we're going to talk about, on this next edition coming up next week, folklore winter forecasts, which people love. We've heard them all. Woolly worms being the prime one, right?
Oh, yeah.
How many pictures are we getting now of woolly worms? What does this mean?
So many. It's every day we're getting them,
And the Woolly Worm Festival comes up soon.
Yeah, down in Beattyville.
Yeah, Lee County.
Let me tell you what, that's a fun little festival. It's a small town, great people, as all of Eastern Kentucky is.
Oh, yeah.
And then you watch those woolly worm races. Now, it is fun. They don't gamble on them, okay? But now listen.
Maybe we should start that.
There's one in North Carolina that does.
They gamble on the woolly worms?
They gamble on the woolly worms. They'll bet on which one's going to win.
Wow.
Yeah, I learned that going to the one in Beattyville years ago.
Huh.
So they'll bet on them. So forget Keeneland.
Listen,
we'll go to that woolly worm race.
Keeneland, you know what? I'm sensing another season here for you guys.
That's right. Huh? Just put the strings up and race those woolly worms over there.
But so you got the woolly worms.
Yep.
You got persimmon seeds, which people cut them open, and inside of that seed, you see a shovel, you see different things like a fork, a spoon, just so many different looking things. I mean, I don't know what they all mean, but allegedly, like a fork means it's going to be cold, like cutting through like a knife. The spoon means a lot of snow, right?
Shovel.
Yeah. A fork means stick a fork in winter because it's not happening. Something like that.
Something like that.
And
yeah. I don't know all of it. With
Right. Squirrels' tails, horses' manes.
How many nuts they gather?
They gather. How many nuts are actually falling from the trees?
How
Just
early
so
they
many
fall?
things.
All that stuff, and we've talked. You and I both have talked to the guy over at the Frankfurt newspaper. His name is escaping me.
Yeah.
And
he absolutely.
And he lives and dies by that stuff.
He does.
For
every
seasonal
year
forecasts.
and every year, and then you've got Dick Freimeyer, who I think he passed away several years ago, but then his family keeps putting out a winter forecast based on all the signs he used to see. I mean, he did this for 30, 40 years. And every year it comes out. It's detailed too. First flakes on, I mean, all this
accurate?
stuff.
How accurate has that been?
I haven't followed it closely enough to judge it, but last year and the past couple of years, none of us were too good with it. But
what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, we scrapped that winter forecast last year. But so that's what we'll do next week. And
Sounds
for
good.
people out there, listen, I know our audience, they love winter stuff, they love folklore stuff. So tell us what you guys are seeing.
Yes.
Shoot Jim a tweet or on
please.
Facebook. Same here with me. We want to know what your folklore forecasters are seeing. And maybe we'll put that out there, too, on social media and Facebook and share some of the responses. Because that'll be fun.
Yeah, because, that's how you get that information together, that forecast.
Mm-hmm.
And if one of us would ever just sit and watch it every year, we could come up with we could determine whether it's accurate or not.
Right.
And the thing is, whether it's accurate or not, like down to 100%, it probably isn't. But as you know, and as we all know, Mother Nature has a way to prepare things.
There are signs, without question.
That can't prepare like us, like humans. So there's some truth in some of that. There has to be.
And there's truth, too, in how weather patterns that will correlate to, the patterns maybe later this fall or winter may already be setting in to produce certain amounts of things that are going on, like an increase in nuts on the trees or something like that. So there may be a correlation in the pattern that causes these folklore things to show up.
I mean, there's so many little details that could go into it, I mean...
Well, next week, that'll be fun then.
A lot to think about.
That'll be
I'm
fun.
on vacation next week, though.
Well, this is true, but you know what? We're gonna take this on location. I'm gonna find out exactly where your camper's
going to
be.
come to the camper,
and I'm
bring this setup.
I'm going to bring the setup.
You're going to bring Bart.
We're going to bring Bart. We're going to bring some marshmallows, and we're just going to have a roast out there.
All right, we'll do it.
What do you think?
If you're bringing something free, I'm all for it. You know that.
This is what I worry about Saturday, folks, with our tailgate. I mean, this man will be taking food off kids' tables.
Roll me home.
As long as they're free, right?
That's right. Not the kids.
Not the kids, but the food. All right, Jim.
I'm done.
We're out. That's it. We can't top this one. Folks, we'll see you all next week. Have a good one.